All right, looks like we're live now. Can you all hear me out there? All right, we don't have anybody joining yet, so I guess if you join and there's any audio problems, let me know. But it looks like we're broadcasting. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Green Spud Trades live stream. Oh, looking at the wrong. I think I titled this incorrectly. How do I change that? Uh-oh. I need to adjust the title. How do I change the stream properties? Uh-oh. Because we're not looking at... It's not a Friday night stock analysis. Let's see here. Content. Live stream. Here we go. Gotta edit this title on the video. Sunday night stock charts. There we go. That's better. Sorry, I had the wrong title and video. Okay, there we go. So just looking at a few stock charts tonight. I'm not going to be doing any fundamental analysis other than maybe just a cursory talk about some of these companies, but we're not digging in that. We're just going to be looking at charts, and I'm just going to be seeing what I think about them from a technical analysis standpoint to just do some short-term trades. And this isn't a recommendation to buy or sell, of course. It's just me having a little bit of enjoyment looking at stock charts and having a little discussion here. So if there's any stock charts that you want me to look at, go ahead and let me know in the chat and we'll talk about it. All right. So first thing I want to talk about is, let's see here. All right. First stock chart that I want to look at is where the SPY's at. So looks like last week we failed to make a new high. And then we had that FOMC meeting, which was Kevin Warsh's first FOMC meeting. And because of that, I'm cautiously, I wouldn't even say I'm optimistic, I'm cautiously pessimistic about the direction that the market is headed. Because sometimes when you have a new Fed chief, the market tends to go down for a little bit, and it's probably driven by the uncertainty about what the Fed policy is going to be. I remember back when Obama appointed Janet Yellen, and she had her first FOMC meeting. The market, if I recall correctly, initially went up after the interest rate decision, but then they had that press conference, and Janet Yellen was talking, and the more she talked, the more the stock market went down. And then there was a little bit of like a correction or bear market after that that went on for some period of time. So that's, I think, definitely a phenomenon that you see when you have a new Fed chief and there's uncertainty about the direction of the Fed policy. And yeah, I don't think anybody really knows what Kevin Warsh's strategy is going to do or how he's going to tackle the economic problems of employment and inflation. By the way, I noticed an interesting thing about the Fed statement that was released is that it said that it did not have the statement about the Fed mandate to maximize employment. It just talked about price stability. So that was an interesting omission from the Fed statement. And I wonder if that kind of suggests a tighter interest rate policy. If they're not worried about employment going higher and they're more so worried about price stability, it probably leans towards the side of an interest rate hike. In fact, let's look at what the prediction is right now, according to the FOMC tracker. So I'm going to put this on the screen. Oop. this window over. Oh, come on. All right, detach this window. All right. So expectations. Oh, you can't see that. So according to the FOMC tracker by the Atlanta Fed, wow, the expectation now for a rate hike is at 65% by September. That's significant. We have a. It looks like the futures market is expecting the interest rates to go up, and that's probably not going to be good for the stock market. So I don't have any positions here in the general market. I'm actually pretty cash heavy right now, and I'm looking at this level. It looks like right now in the overnight markets, we're opening up a little bit lower from where we closed on Friday. A couple of levels of interest here I'm watching on SPY is whether the low of tonight breaks sometime today. And then the other level of interest is here at about 740, 739. If it goes below that, we might see some acceleration to the downside. And then we're pretty far away from the 200-day moving average, which is this blue line right there. So that could be a correction. And let's see, that's at 687. So if we were to bring a just do like a correction calculation from the top, so 10% down, that brings us down to about 684, which is right about where that 200-day moving average is. So if we have what is historically considered a correction in the stock market of 10%, it could bring us all the way down here to the moving average. And we'll take a look at where the VIX is at. The VIX is pretty low. I'm going to be keeping an eye here on 17, but watch out, it could rip to 20 pretty quickly if we get some good down moves. So I'm a little bit short biased, which means that for me, I'd probably be inclined to like check the price action during the day, and I might take a short somewhere in the market if it's looking heavy. All right. So I'm gonna go through some of the holdings that I have, and we'll just kind of evaluate whether I want to keep them or not. So in one of my primary accounts here, I'm pretty heavy into lore, and I did a fundamental analysis on this lore stock a little bit ago. That's one that I'm kind of holding on to long term, and as you can see here, this is what in my playbook I call a downtrend break setup. You have this long running downtrend, and lore is kind of like breaking out from that. In fact, you see a little bit of volume pickup right there. So I really like this action. I think this is one that I actually kind of want to ride through, and maybe it'll go down if the market goes down. But in my experience in trading, I find that I just pay attention to what the stock charts look like to me. And if an individual stock chart looks good, even if the overall market is heading down, in the past, one of my big mistakes is I tend to get out of stocks when I think the overall market is going down. But if the chart of an individual stock looks pretty good, it could hold up pretty well in even a bad market. Toast, that's another one that I'm holding on to. And this is one of my losers. I probably should get rid of this stock, but they're just growing. I mean, they've been making beats, and I have that fundamental analysis hat that I wear where I kind of like this one. I think it has a good long-term direction, but these technicals really suck. I'm really into that one. Tempest is another one I'm bag holding. It's got kind of that downtrend break set up here, but it's really weak, and it's not following through on the downtrend break very well. So this one actually kind of sucks, but I'm holding on to it anyway. I still have a lot of cash though. Microsoft. See, this is actually one that I'm kind of worried about, and I might stop out of it, or I might sell these few shares I've got if we get a little bit of a bounce. Let's see if it breaks over Friday's high. I might want to get rid of it, but this is a nasty looking stock. I think the only reason to not sell it right now, and look, it's below the 200-day moving average. I think the only reason to not sell Microsoft right now is that it's approaching the RSI oversold area below 30. And, sometimes I find that, it's probably going to go lower. It might challenge these, like this 350, 360 area. But sometimes when you have a stock come down here, down to 30 RSI, it could bounce back pretty strongly. So, I don't know. That's one that I should probably stop out of, but I'm being a little bit stubborn on that. Let's see, am I still holding NTR? I have on. Did I get rid of NTR? I stop out of that. I had that in my IRA account. Yeah, Iron Mountain is another one I'm holding on to. Yeah, I still have a lot of NTR. That's another one I'm kind of worried about because that one's tied to the price of oil. So NTR is a fertilizer company. It used to be called Potash. And this is another one, really nasty RSI. It's kind of oversold. I don't know if I want to get rid of it here, but it's collapsing along with the oil stocks. But what I kind of hate about being in these games is that this, along with your oil stocks like Conoco, CVX, or ExxonMobil, they're so levered to whatever the macro news is and whatever Trump is tweeting and going on with the Iran war and Strait of Hormuz. They opened up the Strait of Hormuz, so the oil prices are collapsing. Here in Indiana, we saw $2 gas prices with the 2 again. So, oil and gas are going down, and it's dragging these energy stocks down along with it. I don't know if they're going to recover from a gap down like this. So, I don't know. Maybe I should stop out of NTR. This one, I had really good gains in it on the upswing. But I tried to buy it back on this dip, and that was a problem that I made in some of my past trades. Is some of these stocks that were doing really well, I tried to buy the dip, and then it just kept dipping. So that's one of my problems that I have as a trader. I might just get rid of this thing again, stop out of it again. I like the growth in that company. CEO kind of recently left, and I think they're going to get like a new CEO. But I don't know about this chart. This could turn around. I'm just going to be watching the range here. So I know this isn't too exciting with what I'm going through here as far as like trades, but I'm kind of going through these ones I've been kind of stubborn with and holding on to because I think they're good long-term stocks. And being in it for a long term is something that's got me in trouble a lot with some stocks. I mean, sometimes it helps, but it just kind of depends on what your entry is. All right, so I'm also looking at some of the utility stocks because they've been kind of ramping up a little bit here. So on Friday, I noticed that ED was kind of breaking out here, so I bought a little bit of Con Ed. I mean, it's paying a nice 3.3% dividend, which isn't bad. It used to pay a better dividend. But let's see, Southern Company. I don't know about these utilities. Dominion Energy. This one is actually an interesting chart, and that's one to watch. Out of the utilities, and it has a 3.9% dividend yield. This is probably one of the utility charts I like better. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go back to my other screen. And I'll look at what I was trading recently. I tried to build a watch list for Monday and Tuesday. So SpaceX, that one, that one was a good one to trade. I didn't trade in this account. I trade that in my interactive broker, so you don't see any of the markings on this. I'm not really sure where SpaceX is going. I think it could bounce, and if there's a good wave of hype, you might see it go up to 300. But a lot of people think it's overvalued, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this one sink and go down to like 120 or even sub 100. So one thing to consider about SpaceX is a lot of these stocks, when they IPO, sometimes they have a big burst that lasts for a while, but then they go through a little bit of a rough patch. So we could kind of see that with Palantir. Well, actually, so yeah, Palantir, it had a really good start here for a while. It went up to $40 within, let's see, a few months of them IPOing. So it IPO'd in when was this? October of 20, and then it started trading at like $10. It went up to $40. But what then happened after that was that it faded and faded and faded, and then it went all the way back down to like $9 or $10. It went as low as like $7, and it stayed there for a long time and consolidated. And not until they started to make some profits here and growing their earnings did it start to make its huge ascent again. But I think something like this could easily happen to SpaceX. But don't forget that this, like Palantir, it was like a 4x gain within a few months of it opening. So I don't know, could that happen with SpaceX, which is as big of a IPO as it was? Maybe. Let's see, what was Saudi Aramco's IPO that they did? I don't even follow that stock. Is that still publicly traded? No, it's not traded on the NYSE. Huh. I thought they did an IPO for Saudi Aramco on the NYSE or something like that, but I guess not, because that would have been an interesting comparison. Okay. So another stock that I'm looking at is ServiceNow. This one is, there's debate whether AI is good for ServiceNow, AI is bad for ServiceNow. Nobody knows what the AI hype is going to do for ServiceNow. It had a little bit of a wave here where I think they had some sort of NVIDIA partnership or something like that during the week. And then it surged like 40%, like from the 90 something bucks up to 140 almost. And then it came back down. I think that could. I'm not sure where this one's going to go, but this is one that I'm just kind of watching. If the rest of the market pulls, it's probably going to go down farther. So a lot of this is dependent on SPY. All right. So KMB is one that I've been holding. This one's kind of bottoming out. I'm just below break even with this in one of my accounts, but I took some profits at 104. A few months ago, they bought this other company called Kenvue, which was a spinoff of Johnson & Johnson. And Kenvue, they own a bunch of brands that you see in like pharmacies and grocery stores, stuff like the Neosporin antibiotic and the Band-Aid, like first aid sort of stuff, and skincare products. Oh yeah, they own Neutrogena. And Kimberly Clark, they spent a lot of money to acquire that company, which was kind of a slowing, dying business, and that didn't do any favors for the stock. It's been kind of down in this lower trading range down here. And I thought it would bounce back kind of like UNH did, but it's been a really weak bounce. I'm not impressed with KMB, even though it pays a 5% dividend. It's interesting when you look at UNH, they're actually kind of making a comeback. They're above the 200-day moving average again. But I'm not really interested in trading this stock right now. Might just put alerts around the range that's in here just to watch it. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, Lamar Advertising, LAMR. How's this one? This one's in a new range. That looks really nasty right there. I don't like this. Yeah, I don't like those trailing red candles. I'm going to put a note here for me to divest some of that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like the way that this is kind of making lower highs each day. That one looks like it's going to crack. $149. My cost basis is $140. Let's see, how much do I got? Oh, looks like they already took some profits. I've got only $2,000. I only got 15 shares of this shit. I'll probably sell part of what I got tomorrow at 149.7. Okay. Managing orders. All right. I did that in my Fidelity account. See, I recently bought some Duke Energy. Let's see how that one's doing. Not very good, but that's okay. Pays a 3.4% dividend. Utilities tend to do pretty well. They hold up well sometimes when the market's going down. But if interest rates are going up, it's probably going to hurt utilities. You know, if we get rate hikes, because utilities tend to be long duration assets, and you can kind of see this in some of these charts. So remember when the Fed was hiking back after the COVID thing going into like 2022, and we had that pullback in the overall market. Some of these utility stocks kind of didn't do so well. You can see that here in the Duke chart. Let's see how it looks in the ED chart. See, that ED was kind of stagnant here through 2022. But you can still get a nice dividend out of it. Let's see. I took a lot of profits in my Iron Mountain stock here. In my Fidelity account, cost basis I've got there is at 127. So I'm just about breaking even on this one. I did a fundamental analysis video on this, and it's kind of an AI hype stock. And I like the fact that it is above this new high area. What the fuck? There's a spider crawling across my screen. Fucking wolf spider. That's fucking weird. Okay. Hopefully the guy doesn't bite me. Why am I getting attacked by spiders today? Okay, so this Iron Mountain is holding up above this into this new high territory. I mean, that looks pretty bullish to me. I already took some profits up here. I don't think I want to sell that one because it's like it has a nice, well, somewhat decent dividend yield, and it's just holding up strong. If it pulls back below, 122, I might consider stopping out. DGX, this is another one I've got in my Fidelity account. A little bit disappointed with how it did last week, but these healthcare stocks, they tend to they can do pretty well if the overall market kind of pulls back, because they're kind of viewed as like a safe asset. So I'm going to hold on to my DGX here. Let me see what else I got in the PCRA account. Let's see. I got SoFi. SoFi was doing really well last week. LMT. Don't want to get rid of that. Vive. Shop. I've got some shop. Trying to get out of the shop position. Waiting for a bounce there. I sold a lot of my CGNX I was holding. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at some of these stocks. Okay, Shopify. Okay, I just have my alerts here around the range that's at. This one actually looks pretty weak. I wouldn't be surprised if it cracks Friday's a little day. Any bounce, I'm selling out of this one. I don't think it was a good buy. I thought it was going to bounce harder, go back up to the moving average, but I feel less optimistic about that right now. Oh my god, a fucking spider on my screen. I'm live streaming, really? I've never seen a spider this active here before. Okay, I'm not going to get distracted by that guy. What the fuck is it doing on my screen? Okay. Um, let's see. Where's Uber right now? Uber, man, another range bound stock. I don't know. A lot of the stocks now are just consolidating, or they're just hanging in there, or they look like they're about to break. I'm not seeing a lot that look very promising as far as being bullish charts. That's just kind of what I'm seeing, and that's why I went kind of cash heavy. Okay, LMT, Lockheed Martin. I wonder if this one is going down because the war is kind of winding down. The defense stocks have pulled back significantly after doing really well back when this Iran thing started. I'm going to put an alert down here. And I'm going to put an alert here. Man, this got slammed on Friday. Let's see if it come over that. Oh, we'll hump right there. I don't know. I just have 3 shares, so this might be a good long-term hold, but I'm still kind of inclined to stop out if it breaks below 500. RTX, similar story. This one looks kind of weak. It might break down. I got out of that one, even though I tried to trade some of it. Didn't really go as far as I wanted. Looks like I got out a little bit prematurely. I got out at 185. I probably could have gotten, if I waited another day, I could have gotten the 190s, but that's okay. AVAV, man, I had some lucky trades in this, but really got clobbered on this one in my Interactive Broker stock. It just had so many failed rallies. Didn't work out too good for me. Okay. Let's see what. Oh yeah, this UMAC thing. I'm not really interested in this. A lot of people were trading this drone stock. There's some pump and dump action going on here with Donald Jr. being in on the stock, something like that going on. I really don't like this kind of rounding of the top there on the 1 hour chart. To me, this actually looks pretty darn bearish. I want to look for this one to crack. I'm going to switch that on my other screen to like the 15-minute chart, or maybe the 1 hour chart would be a good one to view this on. 1 hour. And then we'll put a little alert here at 25. And I'd be open to shorting any pops above 25. Or weakness. If you see it breaking down below 23, that might be weakness that you want to sell into. Let's see here. Pops at above 25 or weakness into 23. Rounding top on the 1 hour. Okay. Sorry, I'm putting my notes in my other trading journal. I have a trading journal app that I'm using to kind of track these setups. Okay, so we looked at some of these drone stocks and defense stocks. Oh yeah, how's level 3 doing? Or L3 Harris. Oh man, look at that. You had a bearish engulfing candle there on Friday. It's not looking good for these defense manufacturing stocks. Wow. That's a nasty breakdown. Was there news on that? Let's see. Let me check. I'm using it. No, I'm not seeing anything on that from Friday. Okay. CGNX. Another stock I did a fundamental analysis on. Man, I think this was a good time to take profits, but I just got a small position on this in case it rips. I really think we're going to have better buying opportunities in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if it falls back below this breakout zone. Let's look at uranium, CCJ. Uranium is just getting clobbered, which is kind of odd to me because uranium prices seem to be holding steady here at about $86. I guess the market's kind of anticipating that they're going to be doing better, that the price of uranium is going to keep going up. I think we might have a good buying opportunity in things like CCJ and UEC at some point, but I'm not really liking these charts. They seem to be heading in a strong downward trend. We had that roll off of the ultra low RSI here on UEC recently. When was that? Yeah, beginning of last week, like last Monday. But when this happens, you could easily roll back down. So you got that bounce at the oversold RSI area, but it's now in this range, and it could go either way. My thinking is that it's trending down. Let's see what we did on this 1 hour chart for CCJ. Not as hard of a drop. Okay. Let's see what else is on my ticker list here. Oh yeah, Affirm. That was an interesting one. Oh, here, I'll look at these other ones first. Axon, the body cam company. They make a lot of police stuff. This doji candle, very interesting here. Or was that a doji? Or no, it's a hammer candle. Daily hammer candle. I kind of like that. I don't know. I fundamentally I like the idea of what Axon does, but it's getting pulled down with a lot of the software as a service stocks too. And this downtrend break here, I consider. I consider. Oh, let's see. Still getting used to zoom it. I consider this to be kind of a failure. Because it tried to break above this downtrend area, and then it failed and fell back down. Well, yeah, since we were looking at the uranium ones a minute ago, let's take a look at MP Materials. This is another one. I was pretty heavy into this one, and then I lightened up. I took a little bit of profits and lightened up my position, just because I don't know where it's going. All right, and let's go down the rest of my list here, what I was working on last week. Affirm. Man, I really missed out on this this one. You got kind of a downtrend break here. This is very bullish looking action. I'd probably be inclined to join the momentum here if I get this alert that's coming here over 75 again, or maybe breaking 74. Try to get in ahead of it. The risk here would be the 70 area. But, you know, as a swing trade, well, looking at the volume profile, you've got this thinly traded area up here. So, I don't know, I would kind of expect at best you to get a right up to the 80s. But beyond that, I don't know if it has the news behind it to want to go higher than 80. Or the market behind it, for that matter. Did Klarna IPO? I don't even remember. Let me check. Oh, okay. Because what was in the firms, similar ones to a firm? Was it, oh, I can't think of the name of it. It started with a U. I swear it was like, no, it's not Upstart. Whatever. Clar. Let's see how the Klarna IPO is doing. They IPO'd back in September. Wow, Klarna has been down, down, down. Let's see. They did that September 10th IPO. I think that's about the time that the bubble burst and a firm started to fall apart. Upstart. Yeah, Upstart was kind of in a similar space as a firm. But let's see. So Klarna got really oversold. It's actually making a comeback around here like a firm. So this one might be worth watching. So that was September that they did that IPO. And then the firm, let's look where the peak of that was. Yeah, that was about the same time. September, it started to fall from there. Okay. So, these kind of loan stocks are kind of bouncing back, but it's like more so like the payment plan type of ones for small retail purchases. Upstart, I think they do bigger stuff like auto loans, and this one is not moving with the firm so much. It looks a little weaker, but I'm still gonna kind of watch where it's going from this range. Put that on my watch list. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this is GTX. It's funny, I accidentally pulled up GTX. Look at this. It's kind of parabolic almost. It'll be interesting to see what this one looks like when it cracks. They make like motors and stuff used in EVs, I think, if I recall correctly. I wonder where this one. This one just keeps on going and going. So I'm just watching that one, the range on that one. I don't know what I would name this setup that we see here in Klarna. Maybe an upside break lower. I have a playbook where I name all these different stocks and what the charts look like. This chart pattern right here. What do I see? I see this range where it broke below this range, and then now it's trying to break back above it. And this is kind of like a bottoming pattern that I sometimes see in stocks. And you never know. I mean, this might form like a cup and handle sort of thing, but it's kind of early to tell. But I kind of like the direction, the momentum here. And another interesting thing is where they had this quarterly earnings report. Look at the volume, pretty big volume right here. And I don't know, I'm not sure how this compares on a weekly basis. Let's see here. I don't really know exactly how to use this per tick sort of setup, but that's an interesting trend. I need to study that view a little bit more, but on a weekly basis, Klarna, Yes, it has elevated trading down here. So there's definitely a change of audience going on here. I guess this is what you could call a Wyckoff. Would it be like a Wyckoff change? Not a distribution. Wyckoff. Yeah, you could probably call this like a Wyckoff accumulation pattern. Something I could probably do more of a video on. Okay, so I'm going to add Klarna to my list here. Zoom. This was a disappointing one. I tried to buy this right here. You know, some of the other YouTubers I watch recommended this one, but look, it just fizzled out. I'm not really liking this chart right here. And then same thing with Okta. This was interesting when it tried to break out here, do this like lower upside break sort of thing, but it failed. I'm gonna label that one as a failure. And then recent memory, we also had what was that one AI data stock? Not Databricks. It was not Databricks. Why can I not think of it? I cannot think of the name of this one. There was an AI related data stock that did really well a couple weeks ago, and I cannot think of the name of it right now. Because people were comparing it to Palantir. I know it's somewhere here on my list. Hang on. HSIC. Not that one. I swear it started with an S. Oh, Snowflake. That's what it was. Snowflake. Yeah, this one was another fail. Nasty failure right there. Okay. And so something that was interesting to me too is the real estate market seems to be coming back. I don't know why. We have some of these tech-related names cooling off. Like I just looked at the Snowflake fail, Okta fail. These now failed. All these software stocks, CRM. They look like this one was going to bounce. Look how nasty that stock chart is right now. But some of these, Zillow's not doing too great. I guess because it's in that software area. But I noticed that home building stocks are having a little bit of a bump here, like Pulte Home. It's rolling off of this bottom. I was tracking Green Brick for a while. I tried to trade it up here, but that trade didn't work out so well. Whatever. This Toll. Let's see how that one's doing. See, this one's coming back. I don't know. Are these preparing to go to new highs? I'm not really sure. I mean, I think it's because we had some promising home sale reports where home sales have been up recently, and maybe that's why they're moving. But that's just something I'm kind of watching. I don't know if these are all going to break out to new highs or not. DR Horton. Nope. No. What is the DR Horton? DRI. That's what it was. DRI. Yeah, see in this one. No, that's Darden Restaurants. What's Horton? Horton sticker. Horton. Oh, DHI. This one I was looking for. DHI. Yeah, and this one had a little bit of mini pull up here, but I don't know. They're still kind of consolidating inside their range. Could go either way, but something I noticed and I kind of got my eye out on. Looking at what else we got. Oh man, I really missed out here on Geo. I sold here at this consolidation area. That's a really dumb move because then you had the big break, the secondary breakout. I couldn't stick with it. Missed opportunity. DRS. This is another defense stock. Yeah, this one's getting kind of nasty with the other defense stocks. Okay, so what is doing well? Let's take a look at the 52-week high list from Friday. What do we got breaking out here? We got a tiny no cap almost. This one, oh god, that's a reverse split. Okay. Oh, my filters went away. Darn. Set the defaults. Okay. I reset my filters from 618. Okay, so B-Fly. It's a medical company. What did Butterfly Network do? Ultrasound imaging. Okay. I'm just kind of watching this one. But that's significant volume there. This is a type of thing that could possibly have second day follow through. So it might be worth keeping an eye on this one. But what was the news here? Why is it going up randomly like this? Let's take a look if there's anything. Let's see. Oh, they're doing a AI thing pairing up with Midjourney. This is would probably be at the top of my watch list actually for Monday. Yeah. One of the few stocks to be bullish about if they're incorporating Midjourney. Watching. Let's see, I'm gonna put that note in my journal here. Let's see what this PR says. Butterfly Network provide commentary. They provide commentary. What does providing commentary mean? This seems like pump and dump talk to me. Okay. So I guess Midjourney does have some sort of partnership with them. Sorry, my eye's getting a little dry there. Okay, so they're preparing up with to do this ultrasound stuff. Let's see. Okay, so that one is one of my top watches. This is another one. Okay, it's a cement company. Not interested in foreign cement companies. Sun B. Sunbelt Rentals. 0% dividend. Okay. And just to show you what I'm looking at this 52-week high list here. This is my custom software, and I'm right now I have them sorted by volume, compared to what their average volume is, how voluminous their move is at the 52-week high level. I'm just going down my list. Our mix. There were 215 such stocks on Friday. Most of them don't really interest me that much. Okay, so chip stocks still doing really good. Marvell Technology, that got to a 52-week high. So it's continuing its run, but you have that shooting star candle up there. I don't really like that. I wouldn't be buying that. In fact, I would say this one is a potential short. I'll put that on my top of my watch list. Short. This is kind of a failed follow-through type of setup. Potential short. At open. Failed follow-through. FFT. Did I tag that FFT? Yes, I did. Failed follow-through setup. I'm going to put a little alert here. Hopefully they deliver me the timely alert. If this could crack very early in the morning, like around 7 a.m. If it does, or you get some pops up there. So I'm going to put another alert right there. And I'm going to watch this. And along with Marvell, there is Micron Technologies. Micron has earnings coming up. Ooh. If it's disappointing, which could very well be given how high this thing is going up. Look at that run that's had. This could be an amazing short if they disappoint on earnings. I'm just going to be watching this one for now. I'm going to put them up, though, on my secondary screen here. Okay, I'm not watching Okta anymore. I'll take that up off there, put back Marvell. Save grid as. Okay, I got my eye on Marvell. Watching MU as well. AEHR. Let's check how that one's doing. And that one's also trading in a really tight range. And look at all these red candles. Possible fail follow through up there. But it could also be consolidating for a move higher. So I'd be careful with this one. That Marvell thing, though, what I'd just be looking for is maybe probably like about 295 as a target. And then if it could continue the momentum all the way down to this VWAP here at probably like 260s or something like that. Something with this much momentum, it's kind of hard for it to crack all the way down, but you could probably get a good slide in it, like a good sell off. But it will most likely get bought. Let's see here. What else do we got here? Okay, so Marvell, check that off the list. That's NHC. Okay, IEX. What does IDEX do? Fluid metering products. This is a very engineering specific thing. Stocks like this tend to do well, but I'm not familiar enough with this one from a fundamental standpoint to know why it's appealing to investors. And it's very range bound. Not very interesting to me. But even though it's at the 52-week high. What did mid do? Middle B. Why was I watching this one? Oh, they make restaurant equipment. Why are they going up? Let's see if there's any news on this one. What happened to the search button? Search. Mid. Why is this one going up? Oh. I'm probably gonna have to search for middle B. Oh, they got an upgrade. Yeah. That's why we had the volume. But overall, that one's not really an interesting chart to me. So I'm gonna pass. mRNA, that one is another one on my list. And by the way, for people who are just tuning in, I'm going through my 52-week list here to see what stocks were kind of interesting from Friday. I think I'm going to... I have them sorted by volume right now, but there's a lot of noise on this list, so I like to just look at ones I've been watching previously. And ones that are kind of on the major indexes, like the S&P 500, because they've got a lot of eyes on them. And by the way, this middle D, when did I start? Oh, I said that was a cup and handle setup. When did I make that note? 2026 414. Oh yeah, I think they announced, this company announced some sort of vaccine news. I don't know about this guy. I'm just going to watch where it's going. Let's see if this momentum could continue. So I said back in April, this looks like a cup and handle. That does not look like a cup and handle to me. I'm going to unwatch this. Go back to my watch list here. Yeah, handle unwatch. Okay, so I'm unwatching that from my watch list. Okay, mid is gone. Since I brought up mRNA, let's take a look at like this other popular stock here, Hims. This looks bullish. It's above the 200-day moving average, but did they have any news? Oh, that's not Hims. Okay. Doesn't look like there was any specific news on Hims. At least that news service says. But I kind of like where this chart's at. But I wouldn't chase it here. I would probably wait for some sort of consolidation before entering a position here, because I think given the volatility of this one, you could easily get some good pullbacks here, and especially since it's on the RSI overbought area. If I had a position and got in on this consolidation, I would probably be selling into this, at least part of my position, if I had it. Let's see what else is on my list. Oh yeah, another one. Speaking of the H stocks, Hood did really interesting last week. When the pattern day trader rule lifted, they had a big increase in volume in their trading. I thought I was doing well enough here to sell it. I got out, but I got out a little bit early. However, I think kind of like Hims, this chart could consolidate. It's a good candidate for continued momentum. Oh, might be an interesting downtrend break setup. I got my eye on this guy. Let's see. I might be inclined to buy back into a pullback here. But a lot of that depends on what SPY does tomorrow. PTRN. Pattern group. What did pattern group do? I forgot what they did. I think this was one that I wanted to research. Okay. It's an interesting chart. Okay. What else? State Street, financial stock. Wow, I missed out on this one. See how some of these stocks have this really clean breakout? A lot of financials looked that way last year, and I kind of didn't believe it when it was happening. Let's see, GL, life insurance company. These kind of like climb steady there. Oh, one of the life insurance companies that I recently traded, but I got out of was how did that one do? Let's see. There was one that was in, but I got out recently. I can't find it on my list here. Here we go. NTAP. How's that one doing? Okay, see, NTAP was another really overbought tech company, and it pulled back kind of like Okta and Snow. Let's see. Oh, and also interesting is that the some of these commodity stocks are pulling back too, which is why I've kind of downsized my MP Materials position. The material stocks, raw material stocks. I think probably because maybe the war thing is simmering down. They're not looking too good right now, chart wise. This copper stock might cool off a bit. I can't think of what the name of that one that one insurance company trade was. Sustainable infrastructure. Yeah, not too interesting right now. Okay, now let me get back to this 52-week high list. Semiconductor, Astera Labs. I forgot what they do. It's an AI infrastructure company. Do stuff in Taiwan. I think this is like a chip design company. That's kind of interesting, but I don't know enough about why this one's going up. I have to research that. Yeah, I don't need to research. Let's see, Rangers going up again. That was a nice breakout. Probably could continue that, but I'm not going to chase it. Not a good time to start a position in this one. There's better risk reward opportunities out there. Same with Guardian. Got out of that one a little bit too early. The trouble that I have with holding on to stocks is just when you're in something like this, you got to be really patient with it, and you get nervous, wondering if it's going to pull back some. So I scale out, scale out, scale out until I got nothing left, and it just keeps on going. But part of that is because like when I'm in something like this, it's eating up my buying power, and I can't get in other trades. And I want to try out other trades I'm more certain about. So I have kind of a lack of patience for even good climbers like this. Okay, let's take a look at ARM. I had a really great short in this one, and then traded to the long side on the bounce. Oh, okay. So on ARM, this is interesting in that you had that dead cat bounce, and it propelled itself to a new high here, but you've got a shooting star sort of candle at the top. And kind of like Marvell, this one might also be a little bit overbought. And on Friday, you have these lower highs intraday. This looks like a good candidate for another short setup for failed follow through. These failed follow through ones, like the type that kind of tanks at the open. So I'm going to keep my eye on this one. I'm watching these levels here. 427 is the key level. I'm going to put a note there for tomorrow. We'll follow through at the open. All right, what else looks interesting for Monday? JPM, another 52-week high. Wow, these bank stocks, they just keep on going. Western Digital Corp. And look another shooting star candle. See, a lot of these tech names. So Marvell, Western Digital. Look how crazy overbought that one is. Okay, I'm going to be watching that one. Well, let's see. Let's see what they do at the open tomorrow. All right. I think that's enough looking at stocks tonight. I got a decent watch list for tomorrow. Let's see what we got, what we're looking at. So here's kind of my watch list. We've got some possible failed follow-through setups here. And this one, ARM, it just looks kind of overextended. It's kind of, you've got that curling action here at the top where it's making lower highs. Good short-term possible downside trade, along with Marvell reaching a resistance point here, but be careful because if you don't get that break in the morning, it's probably going to grind up for another day, make new 52-week highs. Oh, and then this one, B-Fly, makes a very interesting second day follow through setup because it seems to be a really hyped up stock. So this is kind of a dip buy kind of opportunity here. Maybe like a pump and dump sort of thing. But that volume candle, this is a really nice candle on the volume. I don't think this one's done. All right, everybody. Thanks to everybody who came in and decided to watch. This is a little fun going through my watch list. And good luck trading tomorrow.